The Multiple Sclerosis Association of America proudly presents, live from our homes to yours, the third annual Improving Lives Benefit, Together at Home. Brought to you by Novartis. With your host for the evening, Tyler Campbell. And a special appearance by the 2023 Mission Honoree, Selma Blair, and the Corporate Honoree, Polar Products, with President and CEO Jacob Grayson. And now, please welcome Tyler Campbell.
MSAA family. Hey, how are we doing tonight, everybody? Good evening, good evening. A true honor and a privilege. Welcome you back for our third annual Together at Home virtual event, Lives at Home. Listen, we are excited. We are emphatically excited about what is about to take place tonight. I'm Tyler Campbell here. I'm your hostess with the most. It's your brother from another mother. All right. So I want you all to sit up. All right. Get in your seats, get excited, get your popcorn ready, because tonight is about improving lives. Hence the title about what it is that we do here at the MSAA. And this is the third annual. All right. So keep the chat functioning live. All right. Introduce yourself. Say hello. Get some hand praises. Get some hand claps in the chat, because tonight is going to be such a special night. And y'all know the MSAA is always first class. And so we will keep the ball rolling. So stay connected. All right. We even have a text in feature that is available to donate, right? We have our mission auction items that are available and will be there. So check on those items, stay in tune, and keep the bids coming. All right. If you have a phone with you, tell a friend, text them. Let them know about what we're doing here, right? If you see something that could benefit somebody else, say, hey, I got you. I can send in an actual bid in right here and right now, because we know that every dollar that we raise here for the MSAA tonight is leading to a catalyst of change amongst our community. All right. So the focus today, so much information is going to be given. So much fun is about to be had, and lives are about to be improved and changed. So I want us to focus on our end of accountability, right? Take the information that you have. Make sure that you share it with the masses so that lives can be changed. All right. That is the call to action. Don't just sit back and watch the show. Think about the information that you receive and how you can utilize it to better the life of somebody who has multiple sclerosis, or help somebody get the insight who knows someone who has MS, because their life could be transformed all the better. All right. So keep those things in mind. That is the call to action. Don't just take in the information. Be willing to share it with the masses so that more can know about what takes place here at the MSAA. All right. So I'll be with you all night long. We're going to keep the program pushing forward. And so for me, it is an honor, right? It is an amazing privilege. All right. Get your hand claps ready, because I get the honor of introducing the amazing Jen Schwartz, who is the chair of the board of directors here at the MSAA. Let's go, everybody.
Welcome. I'm Jennifer Schwartz, chair of the board of directors for MSAA. And on behalf of the entire staff and board, thank you so much for joining us tonight. So excited for our third annual virtual event, welcoming members of our MSAA family from across the country. Hosting this event allows us to bring together so many members of the community who aren't able to join our in-person event because of cost, distance, or health concerns. Like so many others, MSAA has weathered a storm these last few years. COVID-19 had the organization pivoting to remote work, online fundraising events, and educational programs overnight, while simultaneously the need in the community rose. And MSAA had to rise to the challenge along with it. While the world has mostly opened back up post-pandemic, MSAA is still proud to have not turned a single client away when they needed support through our hotline, free cooling vests and accessories, safety and mobility equipment, or financial support for much needed MRIs. Needs continue to rise, and MSAA is still staying strong despite impact from the very turbulent economy. Trust me when I say we truly could not do this without the support of all of you. With that said, we have a wonderful evening full of exciting new content, our amazing honorees, Polar Products and Selma Blair, and of course, our incredible host, Tyler Campbell. I want to give a special thanks to our presenting sponsor, Novartis Corporation. Enjoy your evening.
Hi, my name is Kelsey Lawrence. I was diagnosed with MS in 2014, and I have been a part of the MSAA staff since 2018. I wanted to take the opportunity to thank Novartis for being the presenting sponsor for MSAA's Improving Lives benefit. Their continued support of MSAA allows members of the MS community, like me, to have greater access to MRIs, cooling vests, mobility equipment, as well as informative educational programming. Novartis, thank you for all that you do to improve the lives of people living with MS, today and every day.
Listen, can you feel it? Can you feel it? I know you can. The energy, right? We know that we are a part of something so special. And so, Novartis, we thank you. We really appreciate it. I'm excited because I'm going to go more in depth into the Novartis things that are going on behind closed doors that I get to bring out to the forefront now. And so also want to take a time to not only shout out Novartis, but all of the different supporters that we have. You all help make tonight what it is. And it's special, right? I've been diagnosed with MS starting since 2007. And so believe you me, so many of us who are different patients living with MS, we know how the octave levels change. We know how our bodies change and react. I want you all to know that your host tonight, I come with a sincere heart, a heart of love, and I come with excess amount of energy going into this program because of what it means to all of us, right? We lift as we climb, we energize. And when I see things like I saw in the other video, and when I think of Novartis and as we're moving forward, I get excited, and I hope that you do too. All right. So here's the beautiful thing. Up until this point, here at the MSAA, we have crossed the $257,000 threshold. All right, with funds raised. All right, that's the good thing. Give it a hand clap. Give it a hand clap. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Okay, give it a hand clap. But we're going to go further, right? We're going to go higher, right? Because we can. Look at the total amount raised. We got to get there. Okay. You know, I got to say this. We always take note and we love the arts here at the MSAA. Y'all give hand claps of praise with what you see over my shoulder in that background. Man, we got it going on with all these puzzle pieces that were painted by the artist at the live event. Look at that. If you see your drawing, if you see your puzzle piece down there, put your puzzle piece that you did in the chat, shout it out, say that's mine, top left-hand corner next to Tyler's gray hair, say that's mine. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right. Different background leads to better energy. All right. So listen, you may have heard about the buzz stemming around Novartis and the MSAA. All right. I get to go more in depth with it. All right. We recently had the opportunity to announce the Multiple Sclerosis Implementation Network. All right. The MSAA is about driving for patients, the advocacies, merging of gaps to help patients feel more comfortable, right? To help patients feel like they're getting answers, to help patients have more in-depth conversations with their doctors, bringing things to the table for their families and friends. This is exciting partnership that we have taking place with Novartis. And to talk more about it, I get the opportunity to bring on the illustrious and the amazing Amanda Montag. Amanda, take it away and tell the world how lives are being changed.
Hi, I'm Amanda Montag, Chief Mission Officer for the MSAA. We're so excited about the Multiple Sclerosis Implementation Network, a patient-centric collaborative between MSAA, CHIRP at Dartmouth Health, and Novartis Pharmaceuticals Corporation. This patient-centric initiative is really first of its kind in that patients are at the center of everything we're doing. Patients are going to be on the leadership team. They're going to be telling us what we need to learn, where we need to go, what the research should be looking for. The beauty of this project is that the implementation will be happening on the ground level, so in real time. Practitioners will be able to improve their own practice in the treatment and management of MS. And we will also be using data to improve outcomes for patients for a long time coming.
My name is Gina Ross Murdoch. I am President and CEO of the Multiple Sclerosis Association of America. We are so thrilled with the launch of the Multiple Sclerosis Implementation Network because it truly builds on over 53 years of MSAA's Improving Lives Today mission. Since the start of the organization, we have been dedicated to shared decision-making, helping patients be empowered, and then being their own advocates. And this program, with a collaboration with the partners, really having the patient at the center of the research and really driving that future improvement in care, is based in our mission of improving lives today, because this project will improve lives today, tomorrow, and in the future. So we really see this as the evolution of MSAA's work in this space. We are excited at what we're going to be able to do in the future, but still grounded firmly in improving lives today, as we have been for over 50 years.
I don't know about y'all, but the MSAA with Gina, best dressed CEO this side of the Mississippi. Y'all cannot tell me that anytime you haven't seen Gina, she's been at her best. She takes her wardrobe seriously, all right? So not only an amazing organization, but listen, when it comes to style and profile, Gina has it. And hearing about that, it should make everybody just stand upright and be excited, because there's always that word, evolution. All right, the MSAA is always willing to evolve, always willing to check in with the community to see what is needed. And so much so with data-driven data and numbers that are really about to enhance our experiences with MS and our surrounding loved ones. So when I hear what is taking place with the MSAA and Novartis, I get so excited, and you should too. All of this is a messaging of hope. That's why I tell everybody, you can't keep this information to yourself. You have to share it. You've got to share it. So that's why I get excited, and understand that each year, the staff at the MSAA does not rest until they know that they've taken the inventory and that the following year is going to surpass the previous one. We're talking about a staff of 26, and these are the types of monumental things that are taking place where few are gathered, y'all. Where few are gathered, a difference is made, and that is what takes place here with Improving Lives, where we are gathered, lives are being changed. The staff of 26 has done so much. It has been such a busy year, and their work is not going in vain. And we salute everybody. We love you guys. And last year we talked about the ultimate treatment guide. All right, we went into a little bit more detail about that last year. We're going to bring it to the forefront because, again, something that is changing the patient experience, especially when it comes to DMTs and us as patients as we interact with our doctors, and how it changes our total experience with MS. And so without further ado, we're going to refresh the mind and let you know how we're still continuing to stay committed to the ultimate treatment guide. So please check it out.
The question might be, how did the project, the Ultimate Guide to MS Therapies, come about? As you might imagine, it was a highly collaborative process. And my role was really one of participating as a member collaboratively with a very large group of very skilled and enthusiastic people. To the question, what does this provide? What value is provided by the Ultimate Guide to MS Therapies? And the answer is hopefully that this becomes a powerful tool for communication for shared decision making. We talk about shared decision making, but you can't share decision without knowledge on both sides of the equation. So this should help families, practitioners, people with MS to have a common language for true collaboration, for true shared decision making.
When MSAA first reached out to me about the Ultimate Treatment Guide, I was ecstatic about it because prior to this, I had only Googled to really find out how I could deal with the situation and my doctor, and sometimes it's hard to get a hold of your doctor on a case-by-case basis. So I think having this resource readily available anytime online was a great idea and a great solve.
It was important to all of us that this be comprehensive and comprehensible and unbiased. And in that regard, I think everybody began with a common understanding that we were to talk about the risks and benefits in a neutral but informative way.
A lot of multiple sclerosis info is scattered and dense. And if you have an MS diagnosis, you just want answers. In order to get those answers as quickly as possible, you have to read through a bunch of material that may be outside of your civilian pay grade if you're not a scientist. You know what I'm saying? So the ultimate treatment guide is just one of these things that's like, hey, I know you're dealing with a lot, you all. Here are some important things for you that we have distilled these important things for you to think about. Here's something quick, easy that you can wrap around your mind. You can speak to your doctor, you can speak to your family about, and you can have a nice, solid, ground level understanding of your treatment options and how they will work best for you.
Because this is the ultimate guide, and because our hope was for shared decision-making, it wouldn't be much of a shared decision-making without the voice of all the involved individuals. That means the voices of clinicians, the voices of patient advocates. The point here is we have different lenses when we look at MS, but hearing the patient voice, hearing the voice of people with MS, hearing the voice of patient advocates becomes really essential. It can't be a one-way street. It can't be unidirectional.
In the Ultimate Treatment Guide, we're able to share a little bit of our own experiences, and I think it's so great to not feel alone, because I think that's really a difficult part of living with this disease. When I was first diagnosed, I felt alone. And when you look at the Ultimate Treatment Guide, you see all these other faces, you see healthcare professionals giving their insight and their professional opinions. And so when I used to feel like I was in this small little bubble, I think the Ultimate Treatment Guide back when I was diagnosed would have made me realize that I was a part of something much bigger than what I thought I was.
The nice thing about the Ultimate Guide is that it was never intended to be a static guide. Good for 2022, but not good for 2023 and beyond. There have been new medications. There is always new thinking that needs to be incorporated in a living tool. So think of the Ultimate Guide not as a static tool, but as a living tool for shared decision-making and education of clinicians, patients, families, and people with MS.
Wow. So we talk about the Ultimate Treatment Guide. We talk about the Improving Lives theme. All right. Without further ado, I want to show you how things are happening in real time for us here tonight. All right. Special thank you to Allison from Exude and Francesca from Watch This, Sachi and Sachi for their donations of the walkers. So hand claps to them. That's happening real time right now. And just before I opened up my mouth, look, we got Mark and Maria who have purchased grab bars. All right. So keep those items coming. Keep those donations going. They are making a tremendous difference. I'm here. I'm real time. I'm paying attention to the chat as best as I can. Y'all stay patient with me. All right. Thank you all so very much. And that Ultimate Treatment Guide, that should keep everybody uplifted and encouraged. Remember, that was just last year. Still keeping the envelope pushing forward. It models a level of consistency, right? And we talk about consistency. We can't do these things without our corporate levels of support. All right. And so it gives me such great honor when we talk about consistency, when we talk about the corporate level. You know, our partner tonight, MSAA Polar Products, has been in support for over 20 years and counting, right? Because it's not going to stop tonight. They're going to continue to do it. Polar Products has been a company that has changes lives consistently and continually. And many of you know this because you know some of their products, right? Perhaps they've been responsible for helping you be able to share more time with your loved ones because of the cooling apparatuses that they have, because of the cooling vests. Maybe it's the cooling packs that go on our wrists, or maybe on your head within your bucket hats. Because of their company, it's given us as multiple sclerosis patients and our families more time, all right, against the barrier that heat normally would place before us in our lives. All right, so a method of consistency. Remember what I said. All right, so this year's corporate honoree that we are able to bring to the table, it's Polar Products. I want you to learn more about the fantastic work that they have consistently done for 20 years and counting. We thank you, Polar Products, and congratulations.
In the 1990s, MSAA funded research in conjunction with NASA engineers and some wonderfully prominent MS centers to really prove the benefits of gradually and temporarily cooling the body to address the heat sensitivity and the issues caused by that for the MS population. Overheating for a person living with MS can result in confusion, loss of stability and mobility, difficulty in speaking, or vision issues. These are all examples of very serious and critical issues that can result from being overheating that are also safety issues as well. As a result of MSAA's funded research and what we were seeing from the MS community and the need and the impact of all of this coming together, MSAA initiated relationships with a select few vendors of cooling products like Polar Products in order to create our cooling distribution program.
I decided to switch gears in the 90s because I had worked many years in large corporations, had done well. And the product lines I worked with were helpful and interesting, but didn't really help people on a personal level. And so I was looking around for something that might be a little more meaningful, more helpful to people, more direct.
So my father started Polar when I was graduating high school in the late 90s. And he had spent many years in the corporate world and was excited to do something in a small business on his own that he could control. I didn't think necessarily that I would join the family business, but then when I graduated and was looking at what I wanted to do, I wanted to be close to home and I wanted to be close to my family. I value family above all else, probably, and so that was the reason I'm here. And then I fell in love with it. We
started working with folks with multiple sclerosis and other illnesses that cause heat intolerance. And it's such a wonderful change. We literally every week we get several testimonials from people using our products that say, you can't imagine how this changed our lives. I can go out with my kids and see a Little League game, or I can play a round of golf, or I can just cook in the kitchen without getting fatigued. So it means a lot. It means a lot not only to myself, but our entire organization that we're helping people. And the key to that, of course, is our partnership with MSAA. Just a wonderful organization. We've been very honored to be partnered with them in their good work, and it's just made it all worthwhile.
So I first became aware of the impact that body cooling products can have on people living with multiple sclerosis pretty quickly when I came on board here at Polar. I read a number of testimonials that illuminated the need for these cooling products for people living with MS.
And it makes such a difference to people. But gosh, if someone can go out and play a round of golf or watch their kids' Little League game when they couldn't before they had a cooling vest, that's huge.
So we chose Polar Products to be the 2023 corporate honoree truly because they have a combination of being an amazing vendor, but also really believing strongly and exhibiting a strong belief in our mission of improving lives today. MSAA works very often with the MS Foundation of Puerto Rico, and we all know that the island has just been impacted so negatively and horrifically through 2 hurricanes, as well as the impact of COVID-19 on those living with MS and the whole island. We received a request from the MS Foundation of Puerto Rico that there was really a dire and overwhelming need for cooling products to be sent to the island. And we reached out to Jacob from Polar Products and said, we really need your help. And their first answers are where and when.
So recently we were lucky enough to be able to make a donation to the MSAA for cooling vests to people in Puerto Rico. And you know, we're lucky to be able to do that, and we're proud of that.
What inspired us to jump in with both feet and be a full partner was I can't tell you how much we value that partnership.
The other aspect of why we selected Polar Products as our corporate honoree was our connection with Selma Blair. She had come to us and wanted to know if there was products out there that could be used for the heat sensitivity that she was experiencing.
When Gina first contacted us about the fact that Selma Blair had MS and that she had formed a partnership with Selma and was working to help her, and Selma had mentioned that overheating was an issue with the things she loved to do, such as horseback riding and dancing and other activities. So Gina thought of us and connected us together so we could help Selma directly.
So when we're looking at someone that we want to select as our corporate honoree, and this year Polar Products for our 2023 corporate honoree, we want to look for someone who believes as strongly as improving lives today that we do, really is a good partner with us, has a wonderful relationship with our community and our clients. So when we want to look at somebody who we want to honor and recognize, it is somebody who has been back to back with MSAA on improving lives today, and Polar Products was the ideal choice.
Consistency. That's my word, consistency. 20 plus years. And then I've said this before, many of you who were in person, you heard me say this. I want to echo those same sentiments again. For me personally, as a male, to see a father and a son working together and being able to share of heart, their level of love, the level of emotions that pour out through the company at Polar Products, for me, it's just so inspiring. Right. And so I love what I've seen from them. And you know this, y'all, with Polar Products, they are here to stay. They will continue to be at the forefront and be in the trenches with aiding MS patients as well as their families, for us to have that extra time and not let the sun win the battles. Right. So, man, it gives me a great honor and privilege to also say this. The auction has been blowing up. All right, so I want to give some quick shout outs. We got Cara Bissonette who went through with the grab bar. So special shout out to you. We got Stacy Kaysen, Kim Ketchell, Kip Direct Chang. Thank you all so very much for what you have done. All right, people who purchased cooling vests, the grab bars, we see you, we salute you, and we thank you. All right, so without further ado, let me pivot back. I got to give the shout outs. Stay on your host. I'm staying in line. My man, Jacob Gressley, all right? The head honcho, El Capitan of Polar Products. Jacob, come to the forefront, brother. Let us know, how are you doing? The beer game is strong, brother. Good to see you, baby.
Good to be seen, Tyler. Thank you so much. And it's an honor to be here, honor to be the corporate honoree for MSAA. And I appreciate the kind words that you said, Tyler. You moved my wife and I to tears. At the event, at the in-person event, with your words, and it really touches me. Thank you.
Hey man, the feeling is mutual, brother. I love you dearly. I'm gonna make a Cowboys fan out of you sooner or later. All right, one of these days. Well, listen. Let's keep it all the way in. Let's talk about why we're here. Let's talk about what keeps you guys moving forward. All right. Give the heart, because I know you gave it to me directly, because that's who you are. That's the cloth that you are cut from. With you, what do you love most? All right. I know there's so much, but what is it about you that you love the most that keeps you coming back, working alongside the MSAA?
It's definitely the people, Tyler. Being able to have great relationships with the people that we work with at MSAA, and to cultivate those relationships over the years. And it was great to see everybody again. And we always used to visit and get to hang out. And so it's definitely the relationships of the people at MSAA. And then with the MS community, it's definitely the testimonials. We have always gotten wonderful testimonials from people about how the cooling vest can help them, and can help them go see a little league game, play around a golf, and those are always very moving. And we make sure that we spread those around, so everybody in the building knows about that, and can share in the good work that we are a small part of.
Hey, and I want to also make sure we shout this out too, guys. They did so much with getting others involved in our mission auction, right? So it wasn't just you all as a company, Jacob. You really did us a solid at the MSAA, because it's family. You got other people involved, and you may not see it, but I guarantee you we will update you. The word around the chat box right now is there are so many people like myself whose lives have been impacted and changed because of what you guys do, right? And so I love it. I'm excited. The proof is in the pudding. And brother, I love you dearly. You and your father, we love you all for what you do. And we look forward to continuing to be able to work alongside you at the MSAA, man. It has been an absolute joy, Jacob.
Well, thank you so much, Tyler. And the love flows freely both ways, my brother. So
I know that's right. I know that's right, man. Well, thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. Listen, the MSAA is a wonderful organization. They are bringing people like Jacob and Polar Bill, his father, people like that. They're bringing them into our wheelhouse. So many people are involved, and they also are able to help gather an added level of perspective and, watch this, hope towards our community living with multiple sclerosis. All right. And so a lot of times, we need to hear other testimonials from people who've been living with this disease for quite some time. I'm so excited to introduce this next segment, because this is a segment that I desperately needed when I was newly diagnosed back in 2007. And again, the MSAA is about leaving things better than the way that they found them. It is guaranteed that if you are newly diagnosed, this next segment will give you hope, it will make you smile, and it will make you pick up the baton and fight for your life with multiple sclerosis and your well-being. Let's get into this aging well segment with multiple sclerosis.
I'm 60 years old. I've been living with MS for 25 years. Life with MS has changed. My perspective has changed. When you're diagnosed 25 years ago, I was worried about being broken, not being able to make it to 60, being a drag on my family, not having my kids grow up, not being able to allow them to find their lives. And now at 60, it's, well, those things never happened, so how do I continue to go? What happens now if I can't work, if I can't do something? So my whole perspective and my fear, like the fears have changed and the perspective has changed, but MS hasn't. It's just that constant. And it brings along with it change.
So when I was first diagnosed, you were really left to believe everything the doctors told you. For instance, they told me to quit my job, move back home, and call them if I should have an exacerbation, because they would give me steroids. And that was how it was back then. Rest, 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 have no life, and call us for medication.
What inspired me to be a part of MSAA and their wonderful article on aging with MS, it's important. I feel like Terry and I have something to share. We've lived with multiple sclerosis for over 25 years. And it's nice to share with those who are newly diagnosed that you can age well with MS. We give tips on aging well with MS, and we've been through the experience, the good and the bad. And it's very important to share our story that life continues even with a diagnosis.
We have a motto. It is the good, the bad, and the funny. And you may ask, why the funny? You just have to go through life living with MS and look at the bright side and just laugh sometimes.
When I went to Disney or I went to California, it was hot. And we were going through the first park and I was having a hard time walking. I remember joking around with my wife. I saw somebody drive by like on a scooter and I said, you know what, maybe I should get one of these scooters. And she was like, maybe you should, why not? And I was like, well, I can't, I don't know. If I get a scooter, that means I'm defeated. It's hard to swallow my pride. And she said to me, look, it's hard walking and it's hard to swallow your pride. So just pick one, but don't complain. I got a scooter. The minute I got on it, I got to tell you, I felt like $1 million. I was like, why haven't I done this earlier? I'll take a scooter. Any place that has scooters, I will take one.
So when the doctors were telling me not to exercise, I just thought to myself, that can't be right. Everywhere you read about how exercise benefits you in the long run and in the short term, how come it's different for people with MS? This just can't be. So I did sign up for a yoga class and I did keep walking a lot at my own pace within my abilities. And finally, at the MS center that I did eventually go to, my first nurse practitioner said a line to me that stayed with me till this day is, do not allow your MS to be the sum total of who you are. Wow, that was it. That was magic.
And it's very important, even when your body doesn't move the way it once did, try to find alternatives to keep that body going. You don't use it, you lose it.
I have to pick my heart in everything I do, pick my heart. And if I've never done it, give it a shot. If I used to do it better. But don't complain about it. Just do it. And don't be afraid to rely on your friends and family to give you a little bit of a push or a nudge or some support.
So people out there, no matter what part in life you are with your MS diagnosis, there's so much life. We get one life to live, and we need to make the best of it.
I love it. Those are the MS pioneers, right? That's the wisdom, right? That's the insight. Like I said, that's the hope. Oh, those are messages that I needed to know or hear about and see back in 2007 when I was diagnosed at the age of 21. But now, because of the amazing work that gets done with improving lives, we're able to introduce faces like Tamra, faces like Kathy, right? And Mike. Mike talked about picking your heart and just doing it. And Tamra and Terry talking about if you don't use it, you lose it. Right. And so that's so special. And then you see them aging well. Y'all give them a hand clap and praise. Aging well with MS. So, man, this handsome brother right here, I'm feeling like, hey, as I'm getting older with MS, I got some hope, right? I'm going to keep my wife happy. She going to like what she sees. But those are the types of things. That's what we need to hear. That's what we need to feel. So thank you so very much for everybody with sharing their heart, sharing their testimony, sharing their life, living with MS, some over 20 plus years. All right. That's that level of hope. Now, listen, to pivot everything, Melissa Young, we want to shout you out for the cooling vest that you purchased. Allison Moskowitz for the grab bar. All right. Keep those things going. We still have the text to donate feature that is still available. All right. I know there will be some information put into the chat about how you do those things. Check on those auctions. Keep bidding. I know there's a lot going on, but this is our 3rd year, y'all. We've been doing this. All right. So without further ado, all right, every year, all right, the MSAA does the honor or gives the honor to a single member of the MS community, right? Someone who is improving lives every day. It gives me great honor to introduce this year's 2023 mission honoree, the amazing, the illustrious, the beautiful, Miss Selma Blair.
I really did realize I was relieved when I had the diagnosis because I had actively felt so I'd felt such a lassitude for so long, such a huge fatigue that it was an ongoing joke with Troy, my manager, going to auditions even 20 years ago. It was like, well, that's awfully far. Okay, how many naps do I take on the way home? I was really having trouble with my fine motor skills, and my speech was getting some breaks in it from spasms, unnecessary surgeries, bladder issues with Ehlers-Danlos of my kidney. But then when my writing turned into micrographia, really tiny, and I couldn't make it bigger. There were so many different aspects going into this that I thought, how much will this diagnosis cover? This was my saving grace emotionally. So you betcha I'm out here telling people that willpower isn't always gonna save you. You need an actual shoulder to lean on sometimes. So it's amazing.
Had the pleasure of meeting Selma in the fall of 2019. She was speaking to some other people living with multiple sclerosis, healthcare providers, and patient advocacy organizations. She spoke about really the challenges of needing to be her own advocate and finding out why she was feeling these symptoms. Unfortunately, that's not unusual for those living with multiple sclerosis to really need to go through a challenging journey.
Finding the diagnosis, I didn't know what a support network was yet. I was used to doing everything on my own, used to being told by doctors that it was in my head. And it was really the support system that I found through social media and that I found through finding people reading about me, and that's how I found MSAA, which really was my first time with really educated people on MS.
We talk at MSAA how critical care partners are. Looking beyond just the individual to all who are around them who can help them is incredibly important.
It was talking to MSAA that I realized, oh, this community really does help each other. We need people who kind of get it and can help us, because just to find so many allies through MSAA and through just talking to people online really saved me.
She's really brought the concerns and the struggles of those who are living with MS and who are living with a wide variety of disabilities to the forefront, and has been a passionate advocate.
My cup runneth over, so I thank people so much for supporting me, and in return, that supports so many people. I see it that way. So I just thank everyone, truly, truly, because it's a group effort now.
You have allowed more people to know about the organization. You have allowed us to raise money for supporting the services that we do. But you have touched our hearts, our lives, and have been able to touch lives of people living with MS or impacted by MS across the country.
MSAA has really made a huge difference in my life, and connecting with other people with MS or other people in the disability community, teaching me and being inspired by people all the time that came before me and that are doing the work and living their lives and being visible. And the connectors, the people that connect and that are allies, are invaluable. So thank you so much for taking care of us.
Thank you.
Thank you. MSAA.
The ability to be so comfortable to be vulnerable and to be transparent and to be strong in that. We know if nobody else understands that, this community, we understand what that takes. And it's an added level of walking in your truth. Right. And so it's so powerful. So hearing Selma speak and to be so confident going back and forth, and to know that it's so much purpose driven. She really feels the mission work and the ability to use her platform to help break doors open for all of us is so incredibly special. Right. And I was joking with her before bringing her on, because Selma, we were joking. I think being able to see you so often now, your cane game is extremely strong. And I was telling her cane game is strong. She's got some great canes. Selma, how are you doing tonight? Congratulations. And it is such a pleasure to have you on. And thank you for what you do for all of us in the MS community.
Thank you so much, Tyler. I really adore you and appreciate you, and I'm inspired by you. And thank you for complimenting the cane game. I do try. I do try. It was like the original thing that helped me, get around, and people really responded, and I was like, "Oh my gosh. Well, I can show up with with my canes." And I love finding canes. It's not as relevant here in the United States to have cute canes, but I make a trip to Britain and there's
Come
shops
on.
for it. There's not as much like a feeling of it being geriatric or illness or, have some stigma of something. It's really kind of accepted. And I love it. So I love seeing more and more people with canes, and especially one that I got from Britain that's on here, Neo Walk Sticks.
Yeah, absolutely. And you
Gave
said
me
it.
so much joy, and it was just so practically useful, and I really gained a friend there too in Lindsay, whose company it is. So thank you. It all ties into feeling community and feeling loved and supported, and that's what MSAA really gave me from the start. So, and you continue to, and it's just been a great time.
Yeah, I think for me and knowing, special shout out to Neo Walk because they've taken things a step further for us, Selma, because they donated towards our auction that we have, that cane available. You see the cane she's used. You even talked before we got on about the one that you had that lit up by them
Right.
when you were on Dancing with the Stars even.
I did Dancing with the Stars, and by the time we'd get to the live stream show, I had smoothed out a lot of my blocks that I'd get while I'm learning something, with my body kind of catching up to it. But I still would, as soon as the music would stop, it's like, where's my cane? And so they always knew my light up Neo Walk Stick that actually, because the canes are acrylic, Lindsay started making them first in her kitchen. And then now it's done, but there's a flashlight in it. It lights up, and it just felt so kind of theatrical and glamorous, and I loved it. And it was perfect in the dark studio because then I could see not to, trip over a cable.
Now, I think I want to give people a window seat into your Dancing with the Stars experience because you shared this with me personally. And listen, this is I want people to really understand and give you your flowers because of what it took. But when you told me the choreography played to your good side throughout the duration of the show, that level of work ethic, Selma, how were you able to do that?
I have to say, thank you. I'm so glad you brought that up because I forget some really important points there, but my left side seems to, kind of go offline. My internal Wi-Fi on my left side kind of goes out a lot, especially, in perceived stressful situations or adrenaline or excitement, whatever. So it would actually be exacerbated in rehearsals and things like that. This kind of like movement and differences in speech and stuff I have. So anyhow, Sasha would notice every time I had to kind of initiate movement with my left side, I'd freeze. I couldn't figure out how to continue. And so no one really realized, but it was always moving to the right. And so I'd get in the flow more easily instead of starting out blocked. And we never really separated unless my feet were in a wide stance, which I could handle my balance, or even inverting, which was so much fun that I could do something like a simple cartwheel. For me, for many years, I couldn't do it. And something was like a double backflip was something I could do still at the age of 40. So to lose that and not even be able to do a cartwheel, and then find it again with the support of Sasha, who is really thoughtful and brilliant about finding ways to help us move along so I could be active and have fun for that stretch. I got to do it.
And I think, and this is because I have one more question to ask you, but here's the underlying that I want people to catch is the fact that you were able to work with your partner, or for us in the community, leaning on somebody that we trust to help us to do what we can't do. But the fact that it's okay to ask for help is what I
It
get from,
is. I think once you know what you need, Oh my gosh, it makes everyone's life easier. There is a personal responsibility, and it's also the most amazing thing when you can actually learn what you need. I would have never thought that I could even dance like that after I took such a hit with MS. And it was just, I couldn't have done it without the encouragement of having a partner. And then my friends behind me, or the people I work with who are my friends now, it's been years. So having everyone on board to say, okay, well, the worst that happens is you just can't move live. So Sasha really just supported me emotionally and physically. And that's what it's all about, really. I found that so much, how much I've learned from people that are thriving in disability community or chronic illness. So to find something like MSAA that's turned out to be, my direct community, I have so much gratitude.
You and Gina have a very special relationship. When I see y'all talk, it looks like, y'all are sisters.
Yeah.
To close us out in this segment, I want to ask you for your heart again, because I know you're confident as a woman of who you are and what you stand on, and that is so admirable. And what is it that inspires you the most about the events that you've worked on, with the MSAA?
Oh my gosh. First of all, Gina Ross Murdoch has made everything so easy for me, effortless, because she's also supported me, literally has shown up physically in person for things. So that's been the most amazing byproduct and healing for me, to feel that support like a sister, like a loving sister, but really knowing the really practical sides, knowing that it can raise awareness for the great work that MSAA does, because that has been the most practical thing. I was literally treated as a patient first, not asking, for me to immediately, it never asked for help, never asked for me to show up, never. It was just immediately trying to make my life more manageable, and just practical results and advice where doctors wouldn't give me. If I said I overheat, horseback riding, they're like, well, then go at night. And it's like, I can't, it's, yeah, okay. And there just wasn't a practical thing. And with the advice of getting the polar products, it changed everything to allow me on a day without as much sun to be outside riding my horse. And you have a horse, and so many people I know find it very, very important component of their life for joy and fulfillment, some balance, some time to regroup.
I love it. I give you your
I wouldn't
flowers.
have been able to have that without this community, and people giving generously, people even just paying attention and spreading the word. It means so much to me. And also meeting the Slatterys who bid on talking to me, and it changed my life. And I think it changed theirs in some way. We really, really connected. So I'm really grateful for that.
That's powerful. I thank you. Thank you so much for your time. You're inspirational to men, women, everybody across the country. So
Oh
we
my
thank
gosh.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. And you are to me, and I'm always listening and hoping that if I get a chance to ever be a voice, that I hope I hear what people are putting out for the highest good, so we can all help each other. Thank you.
Hey, I know that's right. You get out, you have yourself a blessed evening. Make sure you take care of yourself. We know you're working hard. We love you. We appreciate you, y'all. This is this year's Mission Honoree, Miss Selma Blair. Thank you. And everybody, let's take a minute to recognize all of our partners that have made tonight possible. Selma, keep up the great work.
Good evening. My name is Gina Ross Murdoch, and I am President and CEO of the Multiple Sclerosis Association of America. Thank you, Selma. You continue to amaze and inspire us, and we are so thrilled to have you as our mission honoree, and thank Polar Products for being our corporate honoree as well. I now have the distinct pleasure and honor of recognizing our sponsors for the Improving Lives benefit. First of all, our presenting sponsor, Novartis Pharmaceuticals Corporation, our diamond sponsor, Genentech, our MSAA family sponsor, Sandoz, our silver and Publicis Health, our bronze sponsors at Point of Care, Biogen, TG Therapeutics and Mallinckrodt, our copper sponsor in Polar Products, our partner sponsors in QVC and BMS, our Hope sponsor in Helios Medical, and our support sponsors in Christiana Care and South Jersey MS Center. We truly appreciate your support and thank you for being part of improving lives today.
Special thank you to our sponsors, right? I mean, you can't do it without you guys. We thank you, we salute you, we honor you. Oh, tonight has been such a powerful night. Keep the comments in the chat rolling. How are y'all feeling? What's been going on? What are some of the things that have stood out to you? Hand claps. Wasn't Selma Blair amazing, right? And so kudos to that. Those are the things that we talk about. That's what improving lives is all about, all right? So transition, all right? We got our sponsors. We thank them. Let's think about the great things that are in the auction. All right. My sports fans, you still got that Earl Campbell jersey in there. All right. How about dancing? Some of the dancing practices that are available with Sasha. That's why I kind of allowed Selma to talk, because I wanted her to speak on how amazing of a person her partner is and what that was like, and people that are available right here in the auction tonight. All right. Stop by, bid on those things. All right. You've got tickets to that. You've got so much stuff that is going on. Things with centered around World MS Day. There is a lot going on. All right. So please tap into the auction. Think about the text to donate function that is still out there and still available. All right. There's still countdowns going on. We know that, but we'll talk more about it. You still have up until May 30th on World MS Day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to say that again. Okay. May 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is World MS Day. Okay, that's when we will have the closing of the auction, right? So we want to give people a little bit more time. All right, we don't want to exclude individuals because there's so much great stuff going on within our auction. All right, donate here. You head to the website, use the text to donate option. There are many ways to donate. All right, so take the time, slow things down. That's why I told everybody, you've got time. You can tell other people about the auction items. All right, talk to them about the MSAA and how things are what's done tonight rather helps change people's lives. All right, let's get the end of the event countdown thermometer to go up. Joe, can we do that? Can we tap in with the end of the event countdown to come up for us? Look at that, y'all. We got to give people kudos and flowers. All right. Look at what we're looking at. All right. Look at the goal of 275. All right. We're at 262, 251 right now. Okay. There's time. We can go above and beyond. All right. We can exceed this goal. We can do it. All right. Tell people. All right. Get that text in, get that donation in. Every dollar matters. All right. So don't shun yourself. If you're only thinking, well, I only have this, every dollar changes a life. All right. So you are needed. You are valued. Spread the word. You have, again, May 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, our day, World MS Day. All right. That's when we're closing everything up. All right. Last year, we looked at the comments and we noticed that some of the videos that stuck out the most were those heart-wrenching moments when members of the MS community could really open up their heart. All right, and talk with us about the MSAA's impact over their life. All right, don't take it from me. I'm the host. All right, so I know what people are saying. Oh, TC, you biased. You got to say these things. You're the host. No. One of the more impactful things that were done last year. We're going to take notes from that, and we want to bring more things forward. And we're going to title it again, our Hope and Impact segment, so that you can see the impact that the MSAA is having over members of the MS community. Yo, get your popcorn ready. Nah, get your Kleenexes ready, because this is guaranteed to touch your heart. Let's go so we can grow.
The MSAA for me has helped me not feel so alone, and I feel connected to others living with the disease. I feel more knowledgeable, and I just feel a lot of hope And being a part of an organization like the MSAA really can, change your outlook of living with this disease. And instead of it being a monster, I found a way to find out that it actually has been a blessing in my life. And I never thought I would have ever said that, 20 years ago.
The impact that Multiple Sclerosis Association of America has had on my life is really unmountable. It's huge. I think it kind of helped me put my own health into perspective and really helped me think towards the future and not give up.
MSAA has had a huge impact on me. As I said, when I was diagnosed, there was no internet. There were hardly any books in my local library. So when I found MSAA, it was like a breath of fresh air, because here they were providing the information I needed, and in a way that made you feel good and comfortable and like they had your back.
MSAA has had an evolving impact on me. My first introduction to MSAA was as a highly idealistic organization that provided things that my patients needed: education, MRI scans, cooling vests. And so I saw MSAA in the most idealistic way, a group that really was intending to improve the lives of people with MS.
To be able to have the different organizations within the organization, to be able to allow people to have things that they may not have the opportunity or afford, such as a walker, or maybe it could be just as simple as, finding a support group to connect with. There are so many things that the MSAA does that people don't even know they do.
They're there to help us live our lives, and that's the beauty of this organization and what Gina and her whole team do, is they help us live our lives.
I would say dependable.
Grateful.
Blessing.
Inspiring. Supportive. Helpful.
The one word I would use to describe the MSAA is hope.
Resourceful. Here's another word. Thoughtful.
It's very hard to describe MSAA in one word. I'd like to have about 5. but if I had to try to boil it down to a couple, it would be effective idealism.
I would describe MSAA in one word as inspirational.
I would like to say collegiality. I would like to say mutual respect. I would like to say dedication to the patients and their interests, patient-centric. So I think this is really something that cannot be defined in one single word. I'm sorry.
What's one thing that I would like people without multiple sclerosis to know about what it's like living with multiple sclerosis? It's an ever-changing thing. And that can be difficult to truly understand, but some days I can walk that distance, some days I can't. So giving someone the grace for them to be what they are, whatever they say they are, it means the world.
Connection with people is really important, because the disease, the uncertainty, I think, is the scariest part.
MS is not the end. MS just means that you have this disease that is just a part of who you are. It is possible to live within your abilities and to create a life for yourself with your new normal in a way that life will still be delicious.
Truly, MS seems to be a fingerprint or snowflake condition or disease, different for everyone. And it's different over time, it's different if it's progressive, it's different if it's relapse remitting. So that there is that it is confounding.
With MS, many of the things we do, that I do through the day, allow me to just feel that little bit of success. In a world where there are so many people just walking around feeling numb to things and wishing they could be a success, we have the privilege of succeeding many times through the day.
A lot of people don't talk about what it's like when you grow older with MS. So I'm giving a shout out to all of those people that have been diagnosed for many years, that we've got this.
When I became a neurologist more than 50 years ago, there were no treatments for MS, and what we could offer patients was very, very little, except for understanding and education. When people would ask, what do I expect for the future, we really had to say it's unpredictable. I don't have that story anymore. The story I have now is our goal is to keep you as good as you are today, to live a life with as little burden from this disease as possible. And I can say that in the most favorable way, because MS has changed, our understanding of MS has changed, our treatments of MS has changed. The lives of people living with MS has changed dramatically, for the better.
I meet people every day living with MS, and their stories inspire me. Their determination, their joys, their sorrows, and they inspire me every day to keep doing what I do in the best way I can within my abilities. And so I hope that we are inspiring each other.
The one thing that really inspires me are the people behind all of this, behind this video, behind the organization, the other people speaking in this, because they're all really a testament to what can be done.
What inspires me the most is people. And I have been super inspired by others living with MS, people who are brave enough to come out and say that they have multiple sclerosis.
The people I work with. And MSAA is a perfect example of people dedicated to a mission of making the lives of individuals with MS better. And so I get to work with the best people for the best reasons, with the best mission. That's very inspiring.
When I'm having bad days, I think about my beautiful adult children, my wonderful husband, my sister, my father. Those people are my inspiration. My family inspires me.
What inspires me? A better version of me. People around me who I know are going through it, and I've seen their struggles, and they're still here, giving as much light as they possibly can. Yeah, that inspires me.
What inspires me? Well, I think everyone that has come before me that is thriving in the disabled community, that have learned how to be a teacher for those also in the community, and continue what Judith Heumann has done, because she really did with her friends and other disabled people, really with their sit-in and their being loud and creating good trouble, really created the ADA. That was people in the disability community getting a voice and letting people know. So those voices matter, allies matter, and to think that I can benefit from what they have laid before me, I am humbled. I'm an ally. I am inspired. I'm inspired by what people are doing to create lives that are better for everyone by thinking universally now. Not just disabled people, it benefits everyone. So.
I told you, have your Kleenexes ready, okay? Because people were going to give you their full and authentic heart. Don't take it from me. You can take it from the testimonials that you just heard. As a matter of fact, I know we're coming to a close, but real quickly, if you're in the chat still, if you're still staying active in the chat, what is your one word that describes the MSAA? How about that? What is your one word? Really quickly, whatever comes to your mind, let it flow, so the organization can see it, so the peers can see it. What's your one word to describe? Special thank you to Marie, who also came in with the grab bar. All right, so thank you. The flow is still going. All right, guys. The auction, everything. Listen, I wanna kill to help somebody else with this as well. You don't have to be registered to bid. All right, so it's open. Okay, so how do you guide people? You still have the text to donate option. They still have that option. Or perhaps some of us are in favor of some of the corporate mission people, and you want to go through their companies to donate. All right, we're going to end up putting those websites into the chat. All right. Again, we've had some amazing, amazing mission donors that have really stepped up and come to the forefront. All right. And so without them, this would also not be possible. We thank you so very much. Troy, Janet, Ken, Jane, Julie, so many other people have come to the forefront. And we honor you as a mission donor. Better yet, we salute you, all right, for us having the opportunity, all right, the program that we have, all the great works, everything works cohesively together as one unit, all right? And you make sure that you don't mistake or misinterpret the date, May 30th, all right, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when our auction will close. And remember the thermometer, remember the numbers, remember so much of what we're looking to surpass. All right. We had goals at the top. We had things that we were looking to reach from a fundraising standpoint. I'm here to tell you we can fly higher. All right. A special message for the MS community. I want you all to lean in as you're looking at the totals on the screen. We're looking to go higher. I want you all to listen in to me very carefully. This is important as we close. You all make sure to know that it's okay to be selfish. And what I mean by that is we have the heart and we want to help others. And sometimes we have a hard time with pride within ourselves. I want to give you grace. I want to give you rest, and I want to give you peace to let you know that it is okay to be selfish with yourself sometimes, and to make sure that you do put yourself first and take care of you. Because remember, if you don't take care of you, so many other things fall apart. All right. And a lot of times we tussle and we battle over that. Should we be taking care of ourselves? Should we be doing and putting other things before our health? I want to give you peace, and I want to give you love. I want to give you hope. I want to give you promise. I want to give you reassurance. Take care of yourself. And when you need to be selfish, when you need your nap, all right, when you need your time, when you need your rest, when you need your peace, take it. That is nothing wrong with it. Why? Because a better you is what contributes to making the MSAA what it is today. We love you all. We salute you all. We thank you so very much. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your energy. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And until we meet again, look forward to seeing y'all next year. You make sure you take care of yourself and tell somebody else about what takes place here at the MSAA. My name is Tyler Campbell. Love y'all. Have a good night until we meet again.